Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about driving bits with your Swiss Army knife or one of the plier-based multi-tools, the Swiss Tool Spirit or the Swiss tool. And everybody knows that most versions of a Swiss Army knife come with the flathead driver combination bottle cap lifter. And this works fine for a variety of slotted screws and also larger phillips screws, such as this one. You know, it fits within the slot and you can get enough torque to drive it without a problem. Most versions of Swiss Army knives also come with a can opener, and there's a small flathead section here that can also be used to drive slotted screws like this one. And you can utilize it to drive Phillips head screws because the tip fits down inside the recess and you get plenty of torque to drive that type of screw. And in a pinch, you actually can use it to drive Torx star screws, although it's hard to get enough torque with this version to do a superb job, but in a pinch it'll work. You just line the flat part of the driver up with the curved part of the can opener, and it'll get enough purchase to spin that. But this isn't an ideal situation, and there's been some other videos posted out there. I'll post some links below. There's a few different people that have explored this concept, but the idea is to utilize the flathead combination bottle cap lifter with a socket adapter. Now you can use a 1/4 inch socket or a 3/8 inch socket for the ALOX model to accomplish the ability to use a 1/4 inch bit. But I've found it's tricky to get the bits to stay put. It's all kind of loose and wobbly, and it's just finicky to effectively drive screws that way. So after researching and trying a couple different options, I found that Wera makes a bit adapter, both in 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch. And these work really well because they have retention, magnetic retention in the sleeve so that the bits are locked in securely. And I found that the opening actually fits any of the different Swiss Army knives flat driver effectively. And just to show you that, this is a compact, this is the new style combination tool that's at an angle, and it fits into the 1/4 inch driver without an issue. Same thing, this is a Fieldmaster, same driver that's on any other Swiss Army knife that has this implement. It too fits into the 1/4 inch driver without an issue. And what I like about the Wera versions is that they have these little grooves cut into the corners, which allows the tool, when you insert it, to get purchase for added torque. The Swiss tool actually has a smaller driver in this size than a traditional Swiss Army, so it too uses the 1/4 inch adapter. Now when we get to the Spirit model and to the ALOX models, the Spirit's kind of a hybrid because the flathead driver is larger than on the Spirit or any of the other tools. However, the 1/4 inch driver will work in a pinch, but it doesn't seat as closely down in the bottom of the tool. You can insert it and you do get torque, but it doesn't go all the way down. So this will work in a pinch. But what I found is the 3/8" driver actually works better with this tool. And you have to use it with the ALOX version because this driver is the biggest one that Swiss Army Knife Victorinox makes. And you have to use the 3/8" driver to spin that. But even with this setup, it's still, you know, there's still room here. It's not super secure out of the box. And the way to address that is that I've found the easiest way is to actually use some magnets. And you can pick these up on Amazon or at your local hardware store. And I have a couple of different sizes that I use. I have some little 2mm magnets here. I've got some 5mm magnets. And then I have these bigger sizes are actually 9.5mm. And the 9.5mm size you actually need to use in the 3/8" socket along with some of the 5mm. And then in the 1/4" socket, you use the 2mm and the 5mm. And what this does is it allows you to actually lock the adapter to the tool so you have retention. And it also provides a little bit more stability because it fills up some of the space and really gives a secure fitting to the tool, which I find to be extremely helpful. So I'll step through how to install the magnets in the orientation. Okay, on the 3/8" bit adapter, there's actually these two holes on either side of the 3/8" square drive, and those holes are actually 2mm. And so what I've done is I actually take a couple of these magnets and they fit down inside the hole. I'll get them seated flush here in a second, but I'm just putting them there temporarily to hold them. It actually will house 3 of them per side. And what this does is it actually gives some flexibility because it's added magnetic strength in the holes, and if you need to utilize these magnets for some other reason, to say to put it on your knife for some other reason or utilize it in some other way, it's a convenient way to actually store this without them getting lost, which I find to be helpful. And on the larger size, I actually install it on the side with the holes. And you can see that they just line up inside the groove here. And you just push it down. And then with these, you just spin them to where they fit inside the hole. Like that. And now you have the tool that's the adapter. Actually, all the wasted space has been taken up with these magnets. And you'll see now I can put my driver on and it's really secure. And it gives plenty of torque to turn. The nice thing about this is that you can use any style 1/4" bit. They lock into place. And now I have a complete driving mechanism without worry about this entire operation falling off the tool. And this allows me to drive a Torx screw without an issue. And as many of you know, with the Swiss Army knives, you can actually put the driver in a 90-degree for added torque, making the driving that much more efficient. And then to release, you just pull up on this sleeve and the bit comes out without an issue. And the nice thing about having this type of adapter is that I'm not limited to smaller bits. I can actually use larger size bits like this one so that I can get a full driver and a full reach, which is also very convenient. So you can have access to smaller places. And then when I'm done, it just slides off. And I can easily carry this in my pocket or in a tool bag. And I have driving capability. Oh, and one other thing too is that I now also am able to incorporate a socket adapter to drive 1/4-inch sockets. Which is another added benefit. Now with the 1/4-inch adapter, which is going to be more common for most versions of Victorinox Swiss Army knives, you have to utilize smaller diameter magnets to fit inside the 1/4-inch hex drive. And I've found that the 5mm size works perfectly in here. And again, the holes on the side are 2mm, so they accommodate these magnets without an issue. And the same thing, I line them up on the side with the hole so that the magnet actually blocks the hole to keep the smaller magnets from going inside. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but I actually have a small magnet down in the bottom of the adapter. And then I also put a couple on the sides. And I find that that actually provides the most secure setting, because when you put the tool down, the magnet at the bottom actually locks onto the bottom of the flathead, which I find just adds another layer of magnetism and secures the adapter on really well. This is a T25 screw. Using the Swiss tool. And it drives it no problem. And if I wanted to switch tools, I can put the Field Master on, and the same thing. I can drive this really easily. And just to show with this style, it works as well, although the angle isn't, I find the angle is not as convenient as more of the inline style with the traditional cap lifter, but it does work. You do get enough torque to be able to spin the bit and drive it into the 2x4. One other tip is sometimes if the magnets get displaced inside of the socket end, I find the tweezers work effectively to actually pull out the magnets if need be, or reposition them. You can just, or the toothpick. I find either one of them works well to move the magnets around and to position them in the right place to fit the tool so that it's snug. So that's how you can incorporate an adapter to drive 1/4-inch bits to help with a variety of fasteners with your different Swiss Army knife or Swiss Tool Spirit variants of multi-tools. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you like it, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button to help with the algorithms. Interested in your comments below as well. And if any of you have tried this technique and had success, or what your feedback is. Thanks so much for watching.